Miami's Dewan Hernandez ruled ineligible. Iowa is on the verge of trailing by 17 points in a Big Ten road game for the 11th consecutive time. Michaelis, Atlas, Waco, Texas, AP, Kalani Brown had 20 points and 17 rebounds as number 8 Baylor won over a top-ranked team for the first time, beating UConn 68-57 Thursday night and handing the Huskies their first regular season loss in more than 4 years. The Huskies, 11-1, hadn't lost a regular season game in regulation since a 76-70 home loss to Baylor in a numbers 1 versus 2 matchup on February 18, 2013, a span of 163 games. Their only regular season loss since then was 88-86 in overtime at Stanford on November 14, 2014. They had won 126 consecutive regular season games, 58 of them non-conference matchups. UConn is the only number 1 team Baylor has ever faced in Coach Kim Mulkey's 19 seasons. The Lady Bears had lost each of the previous 3 such meetings, including UConn's last visit to Waco nearly 5 years ago. The Huskies had their only lead at 2-0 when Crystal Dangerfield scored in the opening minute of the game. Chloe Jackson added 13 points, 8 assists and 7 rebounds for Baylor, 10-1, while Nalisa Smith had 12 points. Juicy Landrum scored 11 points while Lauren Cox added 9 points and 7 rebounds. Nafesa Collier had 16 points and 11 rebounds for UConn, while Katie Lou Samuelson also had a double-double with 12 points and 11 rebounds. But the 2 seniors were a combined 8 of 34 shooting. Dangerfield had 11 points and Megan Walker 10. Big picture UConn, Gino Arima's team was coming off tough wins at Oklahoma and California, and after both games the coach talked about those kinds of games were how the majority of the world lives. This time, they couldn't pull off a late comeback. The Huskies shot only 29%, 20 of 68, and had their season low in points. Baylor, the Lady Bears have won 28 consecutive home games, and extended their non-conference home winning streak to 45 games since a home loss to UConn on January 13, 2014. Up next UConn, which hasn't lost an American Athletic Conference game in 5 full seasons in the league, opens conference play Sunday at Houston. Baylor, which last season won its 9th Big 12 title, opens league play Sunday at Texas Tech. West Lafayette, Indiana, AP. Carson Edwards scored 16 of his 21 points in the first half and Purdue beat 25th-ranked Iowa 86-70 on Thursday night. Matt Harms had 14 points and Aaron Wheeler added 10 for the Boilermakers, 9-5, 2-1 Big Ten, who have won 3 straight for the first time since starting the season 4-0. Tyler Cook had 24 points, Isaiah Moss scored 13 and Ryan Kriener finished with 10 for the Hawkeyes, 11-3, 0-3, still searching for their first conference victory this season. Purdue improved to 9-1 in its last 10 home games against Iowa. The Boilermakers hold a 90-76 series advantage, winning 15 of 23 meetings during Coach Matt Painter's tenure. In last season's lone matchup, the Boilermakers made a Big Ten record 23-pointers to win 87-64. This time, it was all-around efficiency and scoring depth that made the difference. Purdue shot 53.2% and was well above 60% until the final minutes. The Boilermakers bench boosted one of the nation's most potent offenses as the reserves outscored their Hawkeyes counterparts 39-10. The teams traded the lead early in the first half until Purdue got rolling. A 9-2 spurt sparked by Harms snowballed into a 14-3 run and a 28-18 cushion with 7:47 left in the first half. Purdue's lead reached 26 in the second half. The Boilermakers shot 63.3% from the field to take a 52-35 halftime lead. Big picture Iowa, a downward spiral continues for the Hawkeyes, who have dropped from number 15 to number 25 in the AP poll since losing to Wisconsin on November 30. Iowa remains without its second leading scorer, forward Luka Garza, who averages 12.7 points per game. He missed a 3rd straight game with an ankle injury. Purdue, the Boilermakers are surging at the right time. Purdue defeated its second straight ranked opponent, including a 62-60 victory over Maryland on December 6, and pushed its home winning streak to 9. Now, the Boilermakers need to play the same way on the road, where they are 0-3 this season to go with 2-2 at neutral sites. Purdue is on the road for 3 of its next 5 games. Up next Iowa, hosts number 24 Nebraska on Sunday. Purdue, at number 8 Michigan State on Tuesday. Coral Gables, Florida, AP, thanks to a big finish, the North Carolina State Wolfpack are off to a start that draws comparisons to their first national championship season. Reserve Markel Johnson scored 20 points and the number 18 Wolfpack shot 57% in the second half to rally past Miami 87-82 in the Atlantic Coast Conference opener for both teams Thursday. The Wolfpack, 13-1, won their 7th game in a row and are off to their best start since the 1973-74 team that won the NCAA title. "We've got to follow their footsteps," Johnson said with a grin. "That's what we're trying to do." The Hurricanes, 8-5, built their biggest lead at 74-64 with 10 minutes left, but the Wolfpack responded by scoring 13 consecutive points, and Devin Daniels' driving layup put them ahead to stay with 6.5 minutes to go. Johnson made 4 free throws in the final 28 seconds to seal the win. "Definitely a game to build on," Johnson said. "Being down 10 on the road to come back and win is big. We feel like we can come back from anything." Miami went nearly 5 minutes without a point and missed 8 shots in a row. Both coaches said took a toll on the Hurricanes, who rotate 7 players and had 2 of them battling cramps in the second half. "I thought we would eventually wear those guys down," Wolfpack coach Kevin Keatts said. "That's going to be the issue all season," Miami coach Jim Larrañaga said. Johnson shot 6 for 8, made 4 three-pointers and added 5 assists. "He was tremendous," Keatts said. "He controlled tempo at the end. He pushed the ball in transition and made some big shots for us." Johnson played only 23 minutes, in part because of foul trouble in the first half. "He was the most rest-rested player on the court the whole second half," Larrañaga said. "He just played great. He had himself a complete game. He's very good, and we knew it." Daniels finished with 19 points for the Wolfpack, who out-rebounded the smaller Hurricanes 51-29. Miami shot 29 free throws but sank only 16. "That was a heck of a game," Larrañaga said. "My guys played their hearts out. If we had just made a few more free throws, it would have been a different outcome." Miami sophomore Chris Lykes scored a career-high 28 points on only 15 shots. Zach Johnson added 21 points. The Hurricanes outscored North Carolina State 17-2 in the final 5 minutes of the first half to lead 45-37. The Wolfpack shot 37% in the first half and 46% for the game. "In the first half we got stagnant on offense," Daniels said. "Then we started moving the ball around more." Injury report: Wolfpack guard Blake Harris sat out because of a hip pointer. Warm reception: New Hurricanes football coach Manny Diaz sat courtside and was introduced during a timeout. Big picture: the Wolfpack, who late last month cranked the rankings for the first time in nearly 6 years. Miami lost facing a ranked team for the first time this season. Up next, NC State, hosts on Tuesday. Miami, at Louisville on Sunday. Ann Arbor, Michigan, AP, Iggy Brzdicki's had 16 points and 11 rebounds, and number 2 Michigan returned to Big Ten play with a 68-55 victory over Penn State on Thursday night. The unbeaten Wolverines, 14-0, 3-0, weren't always that dominant while playing lesser competition in December, and the first half against Penn State, 7-7, 0-3, wasn't all that great either from an aesthetic standpoint. The teams combined for 18 turnovers in the first 20 minutes, and Michigan led 25-20. The Nittany Lions scored the first 2 points of the second, but the Wolverines responded with a 13-3 run. Jordan Poole led Michigan with 17 points and has reached double figures in 9 straight games. Charles Matthews added 14 points for the Wolverines. Mike Watkins scored 19 points for Penn State, and Lamar Stevens added 17 points and 10 rebounds. Penn State shot 1 of 14 from three-point range. Big picture: Penn State, defense is the calling card for this Penn State team. The Nittany Lions have held 12 of their 14 opponents below their scoring average coming into the game. Michigan came reasonably close to its average of 73.2 points, and Penn State couldn't overcome its 18 turnovers. Michigan, only 4 undefeated teams remain in Division I, and the Wolverines kept their run going with a workmanlike effort. Michigan has won 8 straight against Penn State and has won 28 of its last 29 overall, with the only loss coming in last season's national title game against Villanova. Poll implications: the Wolverines trail only Duke in the AP Top 25. The Blue Devils face Clemson on Saturday. Up next, Penn State, the Nittany Lions host number 22 Wisconsin on Sunday night. Michigan, the Wolverines host number 21 Indiana on Sunday.